have so many empty paint cans that I hold on to. So I'm trying to think of different trash to treasure projects to do with them. And I don't know about y'all, but music sheets kind of remind me of winter. Somebody had given me this really cool old book of vintage music sheets. So I decided to Mod Podge them to this paint can. I'm just cutting off some of the excess paper that I know I'm not going to be using, just to make it a little bit easier to center the music sheets onto the paint can. Now, this project did end up being a little bit more difficult than I anticipated because the paper was so thick. Normally, when on Mod Podge or Decoupage something on, you're using thinner paper, but this was very thick. It still worked, and I think it came out great, but it just made the project a little bit more difficult. I just did the best that I could around the handles of the bucket. I trimmed it out with an exacto knife and then glued it down. You want to put lots of Mod Podge around your edges. That way you know they are securely glued down. And once my first layer of Mod Podge dried underneath my paper, I went over and put a top coat of Mod Podge on the entire piece. Do music sheets also give y'all winter vibes, or is that just me? Also, when I decoupage music sheets or old book paper, I like to white wax it. I feel like it gives it a very French country vibe, and that was my plan for this piece. But once it was done, I really love the color on the vintage music sheet paper, so I decided not to do that. If I would have added white wax, I would have did it on the top part of the bucket and also the handle, and it would all came together. But again, since I decided not to do that, I felt like the top needed to be painted black and also the handle needed to be painted black. It would have been better to do this before I Mod Podge the sheets on, but you know, sometimes you just got to go with the flow and make changes as the piece comes together. Don't be afraid to change up your original plan if you feel like you need to go in a different direction. Removing the excess paper was also a little bit more difficult since the paper was so thick. Normally when it's thin, you can just sand it, and the excess that is not Mod Podge just tears right off. So I just did a combination of sanding, tearing, and cutting, and to get the extra paper off, and then I put another layer of Mod Podge around these edges just to make sure that everything stayed in place.